All right, guys, I want to talk to you now about how to get rid of larger blemishes in your portraits, like this big red mark right here that I've just gone in and added, and then also how to remove like big bags under the eyes and stuff like that. So one of my favorite tools for doing something like this is the patch tool, and it also hangs out under here with the healing brushes, and it's this guy right here. It's keyboard shortcut, also J. Now here's the deal. Patch tool will not work on an empty layer like we've been retouching on. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge these two layers together, but we don't want to lose them. So we're going to merge them into a new layer. And it's one of my favorite keyboard shortcuts. It's called Command Shift Option E. You got to use two hands to do it, or you got to seriously deform your fingers to make it work. So Command Shift Option E. And what that did was mash these two layers together and make them a new layer up here. So now I have three layers, and we're going to rename this layer right here. I'm going to double click right on the words layer 2. I'm going to call this large blemishes. So there we go. So what I'm going to do with the patch tool is just come down here to this big red mark, and the patch tool, basically what we're going to do is just draw a selection around what we want to get rid of, just like that. And then what we do is we just click inside of this and drag this to what we want to cover it up with. So maybe if we wanted, let me just show you what, there you go. So that obviously is not what we want to do, but you can see how Photoshop's going to blend those two together. So what I'm actually going to do is just drag this to a nice clean spot on his face. So maybe right here on his cheek, that's nice and clean right here, or up here on his forehead somewhere. I'm going to maybe just drop that right there. And look at Photoshop, the way that's blended that together. That's really nice. Command D will make that selection go away, or you can just click outside of it. Sometimes you'll end up with a little bit of a hard edge. You can see it right there. And sometimes I'll even come in here and just select that edge and move it over to a little bit of a spot. And there's another little bit of one right there. I'm going to do the same thing just to help blend that in a little bit better. We can use the same technique to get rid of bags under the eyes, but there's a catch. We don't want to make them disappear completely, because then our model starts to look plastic and fake. So I'm going to draw a big selection around the whole bag here under the eye. I'm going to drag this up. We'll use his forehead here, kind of a clean spot. And then before I do anything, I'm going to leave that selection there. I'm not going to click on anything, because if I do, this won't work. I'm going to come up and go to Edit, Fade, Patch, Selection. Watch, if I accidentally click to get rid of that, and I come up here, look at Edit, Fade, it's grayed out. I can't do it anymore. So I'm going to Command Z that a couple of times. Let's do this one more time. And now let's go to Edit, Fade, Patch, Selection. And this is going to let me kind of blend this in. So I'm going to lower this down until I can still see the bag under his eye, but it's not as pronounced. It's there, but it's not like annoying. And 52% seems about right. And I'll go ahead and press OK, and then click out of that, make that go away. Then I'm going to do the same thing over on this eye over here. Right in there, just like that. Come up here and patch select that, and then let's go to Edit, Fade, Patch Selection again. And I might use the same number, I might not. It just kind of depends on the eye and the lighting and so many different variables. I'll go 44% on that one, press OK, and then Command D to make that selection go away. And there you go, guys. We've just used the patch tool to get rid of some bigger blemishes on our model. Let's try it. Let's see what happens if we get this wrinkle out of his forehead. So again, I don't know that I want to get rid of it completely. Actually, I do. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. I could have also faded it out if I didn't want to get rid of it completely. But I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to do the same thing with this one right here. And just clean up that forehead a little bit more. There's kind of a weird spot right there. I might have been able to use the spot healing brush for that, but I'm going to just use the patch tool for it instead. And there you go. We just used the patch tool to get rid of some of the larger, more awkward blemishes on his face.